we are not going to win this. If we keep playing, we are not going to win. The only way to win is to stop playing. And that is the game of life. This has been given many names: the Matrix, the Brahmanda, the Leela, so on and so forth. But it is ultimately a game that you play and you lose. The more we try to force it, the more we try to move it in ways that we want it to move, it will just seize up. It won't even respond after a point. But the minute you stop trying to do anything to it, the minute you just focus on yourself and you decide, I can't do anything about the outside, let me just work on myself, suddenly the game wants to play. Suddenly it wants to give you things that it didn't want to give you earlier. We call it building up of character, we call it timing, we call it preparation, realization. I think realization is the best way to express it or best way to explain it. We realize that this is going nowhere and we stop trying and then it starts to work. That's the realization we have. There is actually no other realization. We end up realizing that there is nothing to be played for. We are not ultimately going to get anything out of any of all this because it's just one big continuous game that is running, like a video game that has multiple levels and you just keep finishing one level, going to another level. Apparently, there is a princess in a tower somewhere. We don't know that. We just assume it because it was written on the box, apparently, that somebody read many, many thousands of years ago. And the stories have kept propagating. There have been many, many people who said, oh, we found this, we saw this, we experienced this aura of light. You know, we died and we came back. So many stories keep coming back, and they're all just part of the game. Some of them are just what we call NPCs, non playing characters, who are just there for you to be stuck in the illusion of this game forever by feeding you all this, by feeding you this story of something to be achieved. I think that is what NPCs do in video games as well. They're just feeding into the narrative without really showing you anything useful. Or maybe they show you something and you think it is useful, so you keep going after it. These video game developers, they're seriously replicating the entire system, and yet we are not seeing what it is. No one has found anything till date, and this is the only truth you need to know. Everyone, each one, the most learned person who came and went, the most enlightened, the most divine who came and went, they all experienced something through their own body and through their own nervous system. And they wrote it down or they told it to somebody else. And because it sounded so great and it looked so great, it just kept passing down. Nobody has experienced the same thing. Nobody can. We each have different bodies. We each have different methods to process information within these bodies. And because we get stuck every time we come here into this planet or any other planet or anywhere where we are taking birth, we just get stuck into the story of that particular level of the game or that particular game. And these are just different games or different manifestations of the same game. And we're just stuck in all this. It's extraordinary. And we start to believe somebody's narrative is true. Oh my God, you're going to see a big ball of blue light covering you, and then that means you're enlightened. Or that somebody will appear before you, and that means enlightenment. And that is a goal. That is a princess we are trying to rescue from the tower. This word called enlightenment, mukti, moksha, so many names are given to it. And these are just Paper concepts. These are not even paper, they're not even virtual concepts. They don't exist. And we're running after all this. And this is the game that keeps us so engaged that we are forgetting everything else. And there's so many layers as well. You have the absolute superficial layer where absolutely nothing really is there, but we are so stuck in it, the job, the marriage, the kids, the entire, hoo ha of life, so to speak, where we are told that if we don't do this, we are somehow failing at everything, and that this is the one thing that gives you meaning in life, this creation of family, this, that, which is just societal nonsense in order to ensure that our species propagates. Because we're an intellectual species, we do it through intellectual pressure. If we were not an intellectual species, we would just have biological pressure to propagate. But we do this intellectually, and we do this morally and righteously and this way and that way. And we keep people stuck in that loop. And now more so than ever. Even 2,000, 3,000 years ago, people were not so idiotic. They were not such level of idiots who kept falling for the same game over and over again. People had some semblance of individual intelligence. Today, we only read these books. We listen to all these YouTube videos with all these masters, ascended masters, we call them, giving us all these beautiful stories and narratives about something better is out there. Nothing better is anywhere. If there is anything, it's with you, within you. Everything else is just something you're making up in order to justify your existence. And that is all we're trying to do, actually. We're just trying to justify our existence because not existing is such a difficult thing for us to comprehend. This desire to exist has been there since the first time somebody had a desire to exist. And it is such a strong desire. We don't want to die. The body refuses to die. The brain will keep trying to activate the heart after it stops. It's that level of desire. And we're all stuck here in this. None of us are able to actually leave anything and go. Even I cannot do that. I cannot just get up and say, I'm done with all this. Because the conditioning is that if you leave like that, you're not doing your duty. You will come back and you will have to finish this at some other point, or you will be punished, or your children will suffer. This, that, and there is so much emotional attachment built into all this that you just can't leave. Your body literally feels like it is being burned or torn apart or crushed by the power of whatever this is. And yet we're all just stuck with all these things. These things don't actually have any meaning. If you look at it from a very, very, say, 20,000-foot view, it's just ridiculous. What does it matter? It doesn't even matter. Today I'm talking like this. Tomorrow I could die. And whatever I said up to that point, it has no meaning after that point. That's all this is. And this is the game. And you keep playing it, you're not going to go anywhere. You stop playing it, and everything suddenly changes. And to play, you simply need to stop thinking that it really matters. We need to know that it doesn't matter and then work like that. Like these things don't matter. Just do, just do, just do. We are whatever it might be. Once you take birth anywhere, you got to do something. So just do something. Whatever it might be. Stop asking the whys. The minute we stop asking why, we are liberated from every story that has existed anywhere from the beginning of everything. So that is the actual liberation. This is true for any system. You stop playing by the system will bend to you because it has to. It has to survive, and it survives intrinsically on the desperation of the people in the system. So you stop playing by the system, and it will have to do something to keep itself going. You can take YouTube as an answer, as an example rather. This started as a democratic media system in which everybody, ordinary citizens of the world, could post content and share it across the globe for free consumption. And where has it come today? Today, it has become mass media, mainstream media, and every mainstream media player is playing this game as well. And what has it done? It has removed the democracy. It has removed the freedom of people to post content for everybody else to consume. Today, it has become a race. It has become a race. You got to do this, you got to do that. Everybody's trying to get a million views and a million subscribers, and the system rewards you apparently for that. What people don't understand is that the system does not reward you, it is playing on your desperation. It is playing on your desperation. If you have the guts to do just whatever you want to do and just use it as a platform for posting something or the other, and if each and every one becomes like that and stops thinking about monetization, this system will bend backwards to make you succeed. Right now, it is bending over backwards to give you failures in order to either filter you out or keep you hungry enough to keep working for free for it. It is a system that we are working for free. I'm spending half an hour building up or some content like this, or maybe 6 hours of my day building up a content for it. It is not going to pay me. It just hangs a carrot in front of me that there might be a payment, and I keep doing that. Think about it. This you extrapolated to your life. What are you working for? We never ask all these things to ourselves. Why do we get up in the morning and run around, making breakfast, getting the kids ready for school, running to office, doing this and that for what? If somebody just sits down and says, for what? Then the system, the hold of the system breaks down because the system does not know the answer for what. It can answer the why very well. It doesn't actually know how to answer with facts. It doesn't know how to answer what, when, who. It doesn't know. It's a interpretive system, so it only knows stories. If you ask why, it'll start giving you stories. But if you ask, what for should I do this? Then it doesn't know what to say. It doesn't understand that question because what is a factual response? You're going to have a fact associated with it. What happened? I fell down. That's a fact. What happened? It was raining at 8 in the morning, so I got late. Why do I need to do this? If you ask this question, you will end up being bombarded by philosophies from every culture possible, from even, different planets. People are now accessing different planets to give you reasons why you should do what you should do. So that is where it stands. You keep playing this game. You just keep playing it, and it's a self sustaining game. The more you play it, it sustains itself. It hangs carrots in front of you, which really will not give you anything because ultimately the end point is the same for everybody. And for that, also, they dangle a carrot. You're going to come back, they say. This is not the only life. You're going to be there forever and ever and ever. Nice stories for the game to continue. So, those who are video gamers, they understand this context. Ironically, they understand it much better than the so called educated public. Because that's all this is, one big simulated game which sustains itself on our desperation to continue playing it for some carrot that is dangling somewhere, or a princess locked in a tower. We don't even know what she looks like, but she's there, and we've been told from the time we were born that she's very pretty and very beautiful, and she's going to make us happy for the rest of our lives. And apparently, human beings only need this much motivation to do anything. So if you are coming out of this, if you have come to the realization of what this is, then that's the beginning of the system bending for you. But then to sustain it, you need to know what to do, how to do it, and to keep standing in your realization is very tough. It's not easy. It's a daily thing. You wake up and you realize and you say, yes, this is not it. It's a game and I'm not playing it anymore. And whatever happens is fine. And to get that courage and to get that type of mental resilience and that type of physical resilience, we use whatever systems are already provided for us. And this game has provided us many things which we can use to stop playing the game and to stand in that, in that conviction that I'm not going to play that game. So use those systems to build your mental and physical resilience. Examples are yoga, examples are meditation, dhyana, this, that. Everything is given to us. All the deities were there. We need to learn how to use them. But if you keep playing, you're not going anywhere. I'll talk to you in the next one.